start in a comfortable lying down position, and we're just going to find our breath here. So I like to have my feet on the mats, one hand on your heart, one hand on your lower belly, and close down through your eyes. We're going to start by taking deep breaths in through your nose and exhaling out through your mouth. As you breathe in through your nose, can you start to feel a lift into both of your hands? Think about a wave from your belly all the way to your chest. And as you breathe out through your mouth, can you really feel yourself sink slightly deeper and heavier into that mat? We might have had a busy Easter weekend. It might have been relaxing, but just taking this moment or two to feel grounded, to check in with our body and our minds, and let go of anything else that might be on our minds for the day, for the week, for the next 30 minutes. Final breath here, deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth, gently start blinking open your eyes. Depending on space, you're going to bring your hands to a kind of cactus shape or a T shape. You're going to glue your knees and your ankles together, and you're going to knock your knees all the way over towards the left, so they find the floor or close enough, and your eye gaze comes over to the right. I want you to feel an opening in that chest, an opening through that back and the spine. Keep those knees glued together as much as you can. Come back to center and then knock over towards the opposite side. So we're just easing into this spinal mobility. Come back to center. Let's do one more on either side. Can you really keep those knees glued together? Keep that right knee on top of the left. Eye gazes to the right. Coming back to center. And then knock over to the opposite direction. Coming back to center and pause. Hug your knees in towards your chest. And give yourself a little bit of a rock from side to side. We're going to start with our dead bug position. So you're going to reach your hands up towards the ceiling, and your knees are going to be in tabletop. A bit of space between those knees. Knees are over those hips. Shins are parallel with the ground. We're going to slowly start reaching your right arm behind you as your left leg reaches away. Draw both your arm and your leg back in, and then we go with that opposite side. So we're working on this diagonal line of the body, right arm, left leg. Everything zips together, and then we go with the opposite side. Okay, so what's working here? I want you to think energy from your toes to your fingertips. Really point that leg as you reach it all the way long. Your abs and your core are starting to work to keep everything else stable. And we're just working on that dissociation of that shoulder and that leg. So easing into our body this morning. It's a bank holiday Monday, so we deserve a bit of a ease in. The focus today is going to be our core and also a bit of our calves. So just slowly warming up through those abs. Let's go for 3 more. 2. Off that next one, meet with your hands up. Your feet come down onto the mat and you pause. We're going to find our bridge. Keep your hands up towards the ceiling if you can. We start with that pelvic tilt, lower back draws into the mat, and we slowly ripple yourself all the way up to that top point. Hold here. Knees glide forward, heels press down. Can you float those arms all the way up overhead? This is our bit of a massage. So we slowly ripple down, upper back, middle back, lower back. When your bum hits, your arms float down. Now your hands and your hips lift together. You reach all the way up. Squeezing those glutes to the top point, arms reach back. And we slowly ripple all the way down. If you're not feeling this in glutes, just maybe step your feet slightly closer to your bum. I want you to really focus on pushing down through those heels and adding a slight squeeze through those glutes. With those arms overhead, we can really find that rippling down of that spine. This should hopefully feel really nice, especially if we've just woken up. Final one like this, you reach your hips, you reach your arms, arms float all the way back behind you, slowly lower down for the count of 3, 2, 1, bum hits, arms float down, your hands now stay down on the mat. As we lift your hips up towards the ceiling, hold here. Just make sure you're really grounded through those feet. Keep pressing those hands down, maybe feeling a little bit of triceps. We've said calves, we're going to come into calves. You're going to do 2 heel lifts. You lift both those heels up and you slowly lower both heels down. It should feel shaky. One more like this. We lift your heels up. You slowly lower your heels down and then you slowly ripple down, upper back, middle back, lower back. So it's 1 shoulder bridge. We meet at the top. We do 2 heel lifts. 1, 2, and then you slowly lower down. Okay, keep working through this. If those heel lifts are too much, just stay in those shoulder bridges. For me, this is instantly shaky, okay? So we're engaging through those ankles, we're engaging through those calves. We spend so much time walking, standing, running, or doing whatever on our feet, but we rarely kind of engage through those ankles. So this is so good for strengthening, really good for balance, and if you're a runner as well. Okay, really nice. Keep working through this. Can you come higher on those tiptoes every time? The next time when we lift up to the top, we're going to hold those heel lifts. So we lift and then drop those heels. Can you slow this down? If you're not shaking like me, you should probably see my shakes. That means you're going too quickly. Okay, it's really slow on our way down. We're resisting gravity and then we come up. Stay with me for 4. Then we're going to meet with those heels lifted. In 3, really nice. You lift those hips higher. Heels lie higher. 2. The next time those heels are lifted, hold there. This is it. Keep those heels at that top point as we lower those hips halfway and we squeeze those hips up. These are our shoulder bridge pulses. We lower and then we lift. I want you to inhale to drop, exhale to lift. We find that diagonal line every time. Keep pushing down through those toes for 4, 3. You should really be feeling this in your calves. 2. Final 1, hold at that top point, slowly drop those heels, slowly ripple yourselves all the way down and give yourselves a bit of a hug, knees to chest, give yourself a rock from side to side. Maybe just roll out through those ankles in one direction and then in that other direction. Okay, we're going to come into the sideline position. I'm going to be on my left-hand side. If you can do the same as me, just for left and right, but of course doesn't matter. We're going to actually start today on your elbow. Your elbow is going to be underneath your shoulder. We're going to be in your clam. Your knees are stacked and your heels are back in line with your bum. Just reach back, just make sure you can tap your heels and then drop them down. If it feels too much on your shoulder or your arm, you can of course come down to a lying position. Just thought I'd mix it up this week. This is added challenge for those obliques. Right hand on that top hip, and I want you to literally consciously lift the space away from the mats. That's going to really keep your glutes engaged. Heels stay zipped together as we find your clams. We open that top knee up, and then we close it all the way down. Okay, I just can never resist the side lying sequence in a mat class. We're feeling that top right glute. If you can't feel it, just place your hand on that glute and you're just going to really feel it as you open and then close. We're keeping that straight line stacked between both of your hips. So what I mean by that is we're not kind of rolling, rocking and rolling forward and backwards. We're keeping everything in that nice still line. Really nice. keeping those heels zipped together. The next time you close those knees, can we hover those heels off the mat and continue with that same move? We open and then we close. I want you to focus on really keeping those heels glued together, squeezed together. Of course, you can go back to the previous layer and keep those heels down on the mat. If you're not feeling through those glutes, make sure those hips are stacked. Okay, I'm definitely starting to feel this. In 4, you're going to keep your knee up. 3, 2. The next time you open that top leg, hold here. Can we add one kick? Kicking that leg long here in line with your bum. Bend your leg, heels come together and you close. So it's one climb, one kick, heels together and close down. We lift, we kick, we draw back in and we close. Okay, this is really hard to keep that lift in that lower waist. We're trying to not rock and roll. I like my right hand to give me feedback. Right elbow is up towards the ceiling. Really nice. Okay, the next time that leg is kicked long, hold there. Drop that left leg down. We're like, phew. Okay, we hold those bend and presses. You bend your knee in and you kick it long. Once again, we're not rocking and rolling. Okay, we should really start to feel this in that top glutes. If you're not, just maybe rock your hips slightly further forward. That's probably what's going on. Okay, make sure we're not gripping. I just noticed I was really gripping that bottom left hand. Make sure you're not gripping. Okay, the next time you kick long, hold there. We're going to do a halfway pulse, pulse halfway, kick, bend all the way back in. You kick all the way out, we bend halfway, kick, and then fire, bend all the way in. So one full extension, one half, and then you bend. Okay, this is really firing up through my top glutes. Keep pushing down through that left hand. The next time your leg is out, hold here. This is it. We're just going to hold those pulses. You bend halfway and you kick. We're here for 5. 4, really kick with energy, leading with that heel for 3, 2, 1. Hold long, freeze there. And then drop that leg down, tap out through that glute. Okay, pushing ourselves up to a mermaid position. Your left foot is going to come in front. Your right leg is going to be behind. Left foot is in line with that leg. Left hand finds the ground beside you, and we're going to rainbow that top arm up and over and hold. From this position today, we're going to find a bit of an opening. Can you open that hand back so you're kind of opening your chest towards the ceiling? And then round through that spine, you're looking towards that knee. This should feel really nice. Come back to center and then just glide yourselves back. So we reach up and over. See if you can glide that left hand further away. We open your chest and eye gaze up towards the ceiling. Maybe feels a bit sticky in that lower back. You round through that spine looking towards that knee. Come back to center and then glide all the way up and in. Let's do one more like this. We reach up and over. We open the chest. We round the spine. Come back to center, glide yourself up and in and find that counter stretch. Right hand down, left hand reaches up and over. Come back to center. We're going to find that kneeling position. Okay, everyone's least favorite one, but the most satisfying one. We're coming into those quads. You stay facing towards me. I'm going to turn in a second. Your arms are going to be long. You're going to keep that straight line from your head to your hips to your knees. Keeping that straight line, arms long. We start leaning yourself back. It's a hinge. Find and stop in that position as soon as you find those quads switch on. And then exhale, squeeze all the way up. If you've got your camera on, doesn't matter if you haven't, but if you have or if you've got a mirror, just really try and check your that straight line. What's going to want to happen is your bum is going to want to sink. So we're trying to hinge. Your quads are turning on to resist the gravity. If you want to add on, the next time you're down, we add one arm reach. Come down and reach forward. Okay, that really fires up those quads. We come down. We add one arm reach. We reach forward and then we come down. Really nice. It's a real hinge. The lower you go, the more you're going to feel this in those quads. Really nice. Maybe give a smile. I don't want you to hold that breath. I like to inhale to come down. You reach, and then it's an exhale to help you come up. In 2, we're going to hold at the bottom. We're nearly done, I promise. Try not to sink down into those glutes as we get a bit tired. The next time we're down, hold there. We hold those arms up, and then we come down. Keeping low, we lift, and we lower. Really nice. Can you drop a bit deeper for 4, 3, 2, 1. Allow yourself to come up. Tap through those quads. Elbows come in towards your ribs, and you're now going to hinge yourself forward. Okay, we're going to give those legs a break. We're going to come into those arms, but in those tricep kickbacks. Elbows stay glued into your ribs. You squeeze your arms all the way back behind you, and then you glide in. You exhale, reach back, and then come in. The further back you reach, the more you're going to engage those triceps, and then we come in. What's going to want to happen is your elbows are going to feel released, but I want you to really squeeze them in towards those ribs. What's that doing is it's isolating that movement in those triceps. So the further back you reach, the more you're going to feel it. Okay. The next time you reach back, hold there. Your palm's going to flip to face the ceiling, and then you're going to flip to face the floor. Ceiling, floor, maybe we add a little bit of a pulse as you go up and then down. Okay, it's almost like you're a bit of an aeroplane. Eye gaze is forward for the top of the mat, and I want you to maybe do that little pulse. Okay. I'm definitely starting to feel those triceps. The next time those palms are facing up, hold there. This is it. I want you to reach those hands higher. Can you do small pulses up and then down? Eye gazes forward, maybe sink that bum slightly further back. I want you to imagine you're pressing something into that ceiling. Think energy through all of your hands. We're here for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, shaking out through those arms. Okay, the mermaid on the other way is going to feel really good now. So your right foot comes forward, your left foot comes back. Right hand glides along the mat, and your left hand reaches up and over. Okay, that's a really nice opening on those arms. We're going to find that chest opening, look towards the ceiling. Find that rounding, look towards that knee. Find that center point, and then come all the way up and in. I just love a mermaid so much. For me, this always feels so good on my spine. Opening up, feeling that sticky point in your mid-back, in your shoulders, and then rounding, finding a bit more space as those shoulder blades glide wide. Come back to center, and then come all the way up and in. Final one like this. We reach up and over. We open through your chest, open through your heart. Closing down, rounding through that spine. Find that center point. And then you find that counter stretch, left hand down, right hand reaches up and over. Find that opening through that right ribs. We come down onto that right hand side. Okay, we're going to be down on that elbow once more. Once again, you can obviously come into a lying down position, arm long if you need. Your hips are stacked, reach down and tap onto your heels. Make sure they're in that one straight line. Left hand is on your hip, elbow towards the ceiling, and we're lifting up through that lower side body. Keeping those heels together, we start finding those clowns. We open up and then we close. Okay, well this for me already feels a bit shakier than the other side because this leg's already had to stabilize us. I'm not sure if you can see that in the video, but my legs are literally shaking. We're hopefully all going to feel great for our bank holiday Monday after doing this. Okay. The next time you reach down, let's maybe see if we can hover those heels and then we open. So as soon as we hover those heels, we're able to get a little bit more space. But once again, we're not compromising that position of those hips. So if you can't feel it in that glute, just place your top hand on that outer glute. We're working those kind of smaller outside stabilizing glute muscles. You really have to squeeze those heels together to engage it and make sure we're not rocking back or forwards. Okay, let's add that kick. We open out. We kick that leg, heels together, and then you close. We open, we kick, heels together, and then we close. Really nice. So it's one clam, one kick. The next time that leg reaches long, hold there, drop that bottom leg down. We bend that knee all the way in and we kick out, leading with that heel in line with your bum. You bend and you press. Can you make sure you're still lifting up through that back, so that bottom waist? You're pressing down through that right hand. We're keeping that left elbow towards the ceiling. Can we start adding those pulses? You reach out, you bend halfway, you kick, you bend all the way in. You go all the way out, bend halfway, kick, come all the way in. This should really feel it in that top glute. So it's one pulse, one kick. You're all doing so well. Make sure you're not sinking down into that bottom waist. The next time that leg is long, hold there. We're finishing with those pulses halfway and then kick. I want you to think leading with that heel for 4, 3, keep that leg lifted, 2, 1, and release it all the way down. Tap out through your legs. And let's allow ourselves to come all the way down, come and lie all the way onto our backs. Okay, we're going to do a final challenge for our abs on our backs. Your hands are going to come behind your head. Your elbows are going to be nice and wide. And one by one, we're going to lift your legs up to tabletop position. Okay, a bit of space between those knees. It's kind of where we started that day bath. Elbows are hovered off. We're going to start with our ab curls. You exhale, you hover your head, neck, and chest off of the mats. And then you slowly release. Your knees stay stacked above your hips. We're not drawing them further in or out. Exhale to lift. Eye gaze towards those knees and then low. Okay, so coming back into those abs, those tummy muscles. The next time you lift up, hold here. As we lower, can we add a toe tap of that right leg? So right leg stays the same angle. You tap that right knee down. You lift up. Left leg down. And then we lift. So we're alternating those legs. There's a right angle underneath that leg still that's dropping. We're trying to keep that slight gap underneath your lower back. So we're trying to imagine we've got a blueberry underneath your lower waist and we've got this natural curvature of the spine. So what we're doing here is we're like kind of increasing that range your abs have to lift as you come up. We're really starting to work those lower abdominals. So you melt everything down and you zip everything up. I want you to try and reach slightly higher every time you reach up. The next time you lift, hold that ab curl and we just tap those knees down and then up. Knees come back above the hips every time. Can we add a bit of a bicycle? Opposite elbow comes towards that knee. Okay, we're coming into those obliques. The next time that's left knee, so left elbow comes to right knee, can you reach that left leg long? And then we switch. We're finishing with those full bicycles, elbow to knee. Opposite leg reaches all the way out, nice and long. Okay, so in the gym, loads of people do like really super fast bicycles. I want this to be slow. I want you to think armpit to the opposite knee. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug your knees in towards your chest and give yourself a little bit of a bump. Okay, final abs, and we'll work our way up basically to standing. You're going to reach your legs long and your arms all the way long. We're thinking sit up, okay? Inhale, prepare. Exhale, hands reach forward, and we slowly roll yourself all the way up, hands reach overhead. It's almost like you just sat in a really stiff kind of upright chair. Then we slowly roll down, arms reach forward. You scoop all the way through your spine, think lower back, middle back, upper back as you reach all the way down. We've got 2 more like this. Exhale, glide all the way up, rolling yourself all the way up, hands reach up at that top point, and then slowly roll down. It's that articulation we found in through that bridge. Final one, we're going to meet at that top point. We're engaging all of those ab muscles. You roll forward and we hold here. Hands reach all the way up towards the ceiling. Circle those arms around and down. Draw those knees in and you're going to find a little ball position. Okay, we're going to come into a standing position. We slowly drop those heels down and we will ripple yourselves up to standing. Okay, we're going to start with your sumo squats. Your heels are going to be wide. I'll change the screen in a second. Bend through your knees, arms come down, and we're going to open up those legs, open up through those arms. Keep finding your squats. So you come down and you reach, and then you close. Really nice. As you come to that top point, can you come onto your heels, onto your toes, sorry, lifting those heels, and then coming all the way down. Okay, we already engaged through those calves in your bridges. So we're just really coming onto your tiptoes, and then we slowly lower down. Really nice. Think energy all the way through your toes, all the way up into your hands. Really coming as high as you can on your tiptoes, feeling those calves engaged. The next time you come down, I want you to hold there, hands in front of your chest. Okay, imagine you're sitting back, your head is nice and tall, your knees are nice and wide. Can we do a heel lift? Your left heel lifts, your left heel drops, your right heel lifts, your right heel drops. Okay, once again, it should be feeling shaky, really slow down that lower all the way down of that hill. If we're feeling okay here, maybe we start lifting both heels and then slowly dropping them down. This is your last challenge of class this morning. You lift and then you lower. In 3, we're going to hold those heels lifted, finding those shapes in every part of those legs. 2. The next time your heels are lifted, hold there. Can you keep your heels lifted as we pulse those hips up and down for 5, 4, my legs are shaking, 3, 2, 1, hold down, drop those heels, stand up tall and heel toe those feet together. Okay, let's quickly find a bit of a release. Come onto your tiptoes of both feet. Arms come long, and we're just going to walk it out. So one heel comes down, the other knee bends, and you switch up and over. Really nice. This is just kind of like an exaggerated kind of catwalk. Hands can be on those hips. If you do reformer, it's like your footwork, but we're just on the mat. So you come onto your tiptoes, you drop one heel, back onto your tiptoes, and you drop the other heel. We're just finding length and space in through the back of those legs. We're here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Both heels drop. Circle those hands all the way out, around and up. Draw those hands all the way up. Can you reach up and over towards that side? Open out through that side body. Come back to center. Reaching up and over, reaching over towards that opposite side. Hopefully we're feeling more energized. We started down the mat, we've finished standing. Final deep breath in, looking up towards those hands. Exhale, open your hands out, around and down. Shoulders roll back. Shoulders roll forward. Give yourselves a massive smile.